Hey guys, welcome back. Yesterday I did a very short video about Ukraine, and then I saw the NEXAT. So I thought maybe we in that short video they didn't really say anything about it. So I thought let's have a look what they say about it and the experience with it. Maybe we find it interesting. Maybe not. This is from the channel Farmhand TV. I subscribed already, so please do so. If you want to look at it, the link is below.
Getting early access to real innovations in farm machinery is always a privilege. In the autumn of 2021, we were given the exclusive opportunity to experience a completely new approach to arable farming on location for a two-part short film series. It involved an exciting trip to the Ukraine.
It looks kind of massive, if you see it. And I really want to know if it's better to sit on the side or not. Because in traditional combines, you sit in the middle, and you see right and left as much. If you are all the way to the left, you still see enough on the far side.
Is one of the pillars of the Ukraine economy, with arable farming being the most prominent activity. As in Russia, however, a significant proportion of agricultural products are produced by private homesteads. In contrast, there are also some large agricultural holdings with up to 500,000 hectares of farmland. During our short visit in mid-October 2021, we didn't have much chance to look into the country's typical agricultural landscape. The aim of our trip was to visit two farms that have been chosen as testing sites for the new 1100 horsepower NEXAT wide-span carrier vehicle. We are lucky enough to be the first to report on this new technology.
1100 horsepower. Really needs that much just to move around? That's a lot.
Our film location is around a 2-hour drive south of the capital city of Kiev. A Dutchman by birth, Jelle Oosterveld came to the Ukraine a few years back for an internship and fell in love with this vast country. Today, he works as a farm manager on a 5,000-hectare farm that produces arable crops as well as milk.
Hello? Oh, not again. Come on, guys. Oh.
For 3 years, some of the fields have been farmed
Go a little bit lower then. I'm sorry, guys, this is bad. But anyway, if I may say...
exclusively with the revolutionary 14-meter wide NEXAT.
14 meters. Okay.
The NEXAT houses several generators that are powered by two independently controlled 550 horsepower Liebherr engines. The vehicles can accommodate working widths of between 6 and 24 meters, which applies to all the mountable equipment modules for sowing, tillage and harvesting.
Ah, okay, it's not just a combine, you can do other stuff with it as well.
For plant protection work, they can even handle a 70-meter boom width. The performance data on the carrier...
You will never see enough on the side. You really depend on GPS then. Because on the far side,
vehicle is...
you don't really... It's very difficult to see where the branches are. So you fully dependent on GPS. I don't know. I think it's a little bit too wide.
Seriously impressive. NEXAT stands for Next Generation Agriculture Technology. The name says it all. This is the first machine of its kind worldwide. The focal point of this new arable farming method is the NEXAT, a wide-span carrier vehicle that accommodates the various interchangeable equipment modules. This essentially makes each implement self-propelled, because it no longer requires an intricate chassis unit or framework. Attachments can be built in a much more slimline format, which significantly reduces material costs and charge weights especially. Less weight to shift also means lower fuel consumption and ultimately less wear and tear.
Yeah.
The concept and development work came out of the Calvercamp Ideas Factory, which has a track record of launching award-winning farm machinery such as the Primos pellet harvester. There is more to the NEXAT concept than state-of-the-art engineering though. It represents a sea change towards a continuous use of controlled traffic farming practices to cultivate farmland. In classic CTF, short for controlled traffic farming, the track widths and working widths of each piece of equipment used in the production...
Just thinking, it's 14 meter wide. If it turns around to transport mode, it'll be like a little bit more than 14 meters, I guess. As far as I know, most countries don't allow that. Most countries have a maximum of 12 meters long, or it's supposed to be 12 meters and then a trailer. I think we have a problem there.
...process are adjusted so that the same tracks can be used for years to come. This reduces unnecessary soil compaction, improves crop growth and yields, and keeps production costs under control. The NEXAT system pushes CTF to the next level. This is because the wide-span carrier vehicle solves issues that were previously encountered in CTF, such as uneven straw distribution. And since the machine uses the same track twice, an additional 50% of track lines can be saved. This leaves around 95% of the field available for growing plants, free from traffic or compaction.
That's a nice idea.
On screen now is a NEXAT harvesting corn using the NEXCO harvesting module. The threshing system has a 6-meter wide threshing drum built in lengthways. The two sieve pans provide twice the cleaning space of a traditional large combine. The straw is discharged from the machine via 2 outlets, enabling it to be perfectly distributed across the entire working width.
Yeah, but if I want to press it then?
This is now the 3rd harvesting season here in the Ukraine for 2 of the NEXCO systems. They've demonstrated that the throughput is 50% higher than it would be from a traditional large combine. The 22-row maize header with a 70-centimeter row spacing is supplied by Geringhop. The Ukraine is home to vast amounts of farmland, and the field configuration in many areas is astonishing. On this note, it's worth...
I don't know, I'm not convinced yet. Mostly for the transport part and if you have multiple machinery attachments for that NEXAT, it's never really standing still. And the good thing with the combine is you have the whole year to repair it. So yeah, I don't know. Come on. Internet, do I really need to? It's about 3 o'clock again, yeah, okay. It's bad timing. I noticed that it's around 3, 4 o'clock. It's terrible internet here. I don't know why. I guess everybody's inside, hiding from the heat. Come on. What do we have? No. Yeah, okay. Too bad. I guess I just stop the video. Great. What the heck? You can stop a little bit, you can stop a little bit, but come on. We are there somewhere.
Which means they work on some of the most fertile arable land in the world.
This doesn't make any sense. I renew the page and then it works again.
The other NEXAT we've come to see harvesting is working very close by. Kees Huizinga was also born in the Netherlands and owns a 15,000 hectare farm here.
All the Dutch farmers who are interested in farming are moving out of the country because there's no land.
His farm mainly focuses on sunflower and sugar beet production. For the past 8 years of the farm's 20-year history, they have predominantly used controlled traffic farming practices and are now heavily involved in testing the NEXAT system all year round.
Yeah, look at that. You cannot even drive on the road with that. It's way too big. What is the point of it? If your farm really is that big and it's a little bit near a busy town, you have no chance.
The NEXAT has already carried out several thousand hectares worth of tillage and sowing, as well as spraying the sunflower crops. Now it's time for harvesting. Mounted here is a 30-row header with a row spacing of 50 centimeters. The harvesting conditions in 2021 are challenging because the yields are finally back up to a high level thanks to the heavy rainfall they've had following 3 bad years. The corn in this field has an average yield of 12 tons per hectare, and the sunflowers 4 tons. The field layout was planned in advance.
No idea what's normal for sunflowers.
Using software, and the NEXAT is now following the tracks. This is to avoid as many unnecessary turns as possible, as much as to follow controlled traffic farming practices. Using the NEXAT also means avoiding the use of grain carts on the field as much as possible, if the fields allow it. That's why the grain tank and overloading equipment on the NEXCO harvesting module have been designed in unprecedented dimensions for a combine. The grain tank holds 36 cubic meters of grain,
Whoa.
which is around twice the amount held by the largest combine on the market today. The overloading auger can shift 600.
Yeah, you can fill it up all the way, but then you're heavier and then you have like a lot of weight on your belt and on the soy. They didn't really think about that, did they?
100 liters per second, meaning it discharges the grain in twice the speed of a traditional large combine.
I do understand why they want to have like a very big buffer, so you don't need to wait too long. You can just fill up one truck at a time.
The
Pros
first
and cons.
functional model was created in 2017 to 2018. And since 2018, the NEXAT has been in testing on farms. More units were then added to the pre-series, which for the past 3 years have been put to work all year round on the test farms and tested for durability. There are also ambitious plans for the future. From next year and the year after, the aim is to have a pilot series of a dozen machines in operation throughout Europe, North America and South America. In addition to the German production site, another one is already under construction in Russia, with a site in North America to follow. Discussions with end customers are in progress, including Eastern Germany. In our next installment, we'll take a closer look at the current development and production activities taking place at the Calverkamp headquarters in Rieste, Lower Saxony. We'll also...
Okay, yeah. I'm not convinced yet, so I found the second video as well, so maybe they can convince me. I do think it's a good idea to have something like this on the field. But I'm not sure if it's that's a good idea to have it on the road, especially when you want to have want to go spraying. How heavy is that thing? If you spray, how many liters do they take with them? Because that's gonna be an issue. The length is an issue. The width is an issue. You saw how it just uses 2 lanes. That's not possible in most villages. So, no. I think it's nice on if you get to your acre of land, but after that it's. But maybe they convince me with the second part. Let's try this. Here, how many liters is that? How heavy is that? It's not even allowed on the road in most countries, maybe. But anyway. Bigger is not always better. It sounds right. Yeah, I know. But it's... No, I don't think so. Not in this issue, at least. Not in this context.
This must be one of the most spectacular innovations in the international farm machinery industry today. NEXAT. The 1100 horsepower wide-span carrier vehicle stands out for its innovative approach to arable farming. We have already shown you the first pre-series machines during the harvest in Ukraine, right here on our YouTube channel. As promised, in part 2, we're bringing you an update on the NEXAT, as well as more information about this rather unique arable giant.
There's so many tanks, so it takes a long time for filling as well, I guess. For the seeder. Oh, does that wheels? Where are the tracks? I thought tracks were much better, and now it has wheels. That's strange, isn't it? Back to tracks.
Since our first visit to Ukraine in September 2021, things have changed somewhat. Russia's warlike invasion has rocked the nation. We'd like to take this opportunity to express our respect and sympathy for all Ukrainians. In the agricultural sector, people on the ground are doing their best with the available resources to cultivate their fields so that they can bring in a harvest again this summer. NEXAT still has 2 machines in operation on the ground. Under the current circumstances, they can only continue testing out some of the new features to a limited extent in Ukraine. Nevertheless, the NEXATs are to continue supporting the tillage, sowing, plant protection, and of course, the harvesting work for a 4th season.
still not a good idea.
As background information, the NEXAT wide-span carrier vehicle is the core component of this innovative arable farming concept and carries various different equipment modules. In line with the principles of controlled traffic farming, the NEXAT travels over the same tracks in the field from year to year, which means it only cultivates the soil and crops specifically in cropped areas. This protects resources on all levels. In part 1, we saw the harvest work being carried out in Ukraine using the self-made NEXAT module. However, potentially even more exciting for us was how quickly the implements could be changed over on the system vehicle. After all, this should ultimately be the deciding factor as to whether multiple tasks can be carried out with a NEXAT in practice.
That's kind of nice to do everything remote. Don't need to be inside, in, out, in, out, in, out. You can just stand next to it. That's a very good idea, even for normal tractors.
But during peak periods, one person can swap the equipment module in less than 10 minutes. And as you can see here, switch from harvesting to tillage work when the weather changes. It would even be conceivable to harvest during the day and mulch the stubble at night. An interesting point is that the team is already working hard to enable the implement switch to take place completely automatically in future. The machine's universal nature means that virtually any of the compactly built equipment modules, which come without elaborate frame constructions or chassis units, make it into a powerful, self-propelled machine. The NEXAT is guided ultra-precisely by an RTK guidance system along the same field tracks it drove over a few hours before during harvesting. In view of the 14-meter working width and track systems, this enables it to achieve the maximum level of soil protection.
Looks like it goes pretty fast, but how fast it is, they don't say.
Mounted onto the machine is an adapted version of the air hopper tank system. A total of 20 cubic meters fit in the 4 sections. This enables the driver to feed in fertilizer or different seed types depending on the task at hand. The NEXAT's weight is distributed evenly on both sides, and there's no need for weight balancing. In terms of tillage implements and drilling technology, there are currently various adapted models available from the Vederstadt range. Here, they're using the so-called cross-cutter disc, which also enables ultra-flat cultivation. From Ukraine, we move on to Riester in Lower Saxony, Germany. The development company behind the NEXAT is Kalverkamp. Clemens Kalverkamp grew up in farming and is a gifted mechanical engineer. He's launched many a prize-winning innovation in the agricultural machinery sector in his time and has a wealth of international experience. With the NEXAT, he and his son are building on an idea that originated years ago and has occupied the minds of several other inventors around the world. Now that technologies such as compact
stopping up traffic on the way to your field and stuff like that, it's a good idea.
Affordable electric power trains, modern steering systems, and of course, satellite guidance systems are available, building a vehicle of this type is finally possible. Nevertheless, it's been a hard journey from the idea in 2014 and the first prototypes to today's high-powered agricultural machine taking on the harvesting work. For Felix Kalverkamp, agricultural machinery runs almost in his blood. Right at the beginning of his relatively young career, he and his father grappled with the question of the future of arable farming. The vision and ultimate concept for the NEXAT wide-span carrier vehicle came about as a result of weighing up the ecological and economic aspects of arable farming, and taking into account the responsibility that agriculture had to produce food. The overriding premise of this arable farming concept is to increase yields while also significantly reducing the input of each resource and protecting the most important factor of production, soil, as much as possible. A few months ago, the NEXAT won a gold medal at the renowned DLG Innovation Awards 2022, the only one to be awarded within the agricultural machinery sector this year. So far, so good. The NEXAT has been in year-round operation in the field since 2019 and has been working on the Ukraine farms from sowing through to harvest. Here in Riista, around 80 team members are currently working on preparing the NEXAT for series production and updating it with the latest innovations. Each component is tested for durability, and new components are developed on the test side and in practice. Autonomous operation is a major topic. Great strides are being made in development in this area, both in simulation and on the test side. Another area of focus is fuel cell drives. The NEXAT is already ready for this type of drive technology and will be field tested accordingly in the near future.
Yeah.
In 2022, 5 to 10 new NEXATs will be built and deployed around the world. The plan is for a NEXAT to be working on the harvest in North America by the middle of the year. In Germany, a farm in Saxony-Anhalt has already been working with a NEXAT since the spring. On one of its first few days in action, we went to take a look at the 14-meter wheeled machine carrying out tillage work. The NEXAT now has to prove that it can take on the standard tractors and traditional agricultural machinery on this large farm. From a technical standpoint, this NEXAT is built quite similarly to the two machines based in Ukraine. Only the tank system has been reworked. Here, the team is busy preparing the maize fields. To do this, they're using a carrier compact disc harrow module. Next up on the farm in Saxony-Anhalt, they'll also use the NEXAT to plant the maize.
Yeah, okay, I think we have seen enough. But anyway, I'm not convinced yet. But if you have experience with this, please let me know. By now it's a few years ago that they made this movie, I think. 2022, so it's 2 years ago. But a few more of these driving around. I think it works only if you have a very big farm and you don't need to drive on the road that much. Otherwise you just, doesn't make any sense to me. But if you have experience with it, let me know. I love to visit the farm and see it in action. So please send me an email or put a comment down below and I get in touch with you. Yeah, that was it. I'm a bit skeptical about it, but let me know your experience and your thoughts. Thank you for watching and I see you tomorrow. Bye now.